How you doing? I'm Scott Tarulli. I'm a Boston bass guitar player, and I want to talk about some of the gear I've been using on a lot of the projects, including my own project. And I want to talk about this guitar in particular, which is my new main guitar from Music Man. And it's a bit of a custom guitar. I mean, you can get one of these yourself, but I want to thank Derek and Thomas at Music Man and Craig at Seymour Duncan for making this happen for me. The first thing that I noticed when I first played one of these guitars is the neck is second to none. It's a maple roasted neck, and what that means is they essentially cook or bake the neck, so it's aged in a sense. It's just a more stable neck. I always am chasing, you know, the stability of a guitar. All Seymour Duncan pickups, this one in particular, the twang banger and the bridge, the two lipstick pickups, which I love the combination of. The only wiring thing I did different is the middle position. We hear the neck and the bridge pickup. So I use this a lot. The toggle switch stays in the middle a lot for rhythm, all different kinds of, you know, genres, R&B, rock, distorted, clean. The orange guitar over here is also a silhouette, but it's mainly got humbuckers. It's got a humbucker in the neck, so it's that little darker, warmer sound. The one on the end is kind of Strat-like, all Seymour Duncans as well, and those have the classic trem bridges. The next part of my rig I want to talk about are my amps. I have two of them here. I'm plugged into the OR15. It's a smaller wattage amp, and it sounds amazing. This is the OR50, which they're not the same circuit, but I think they sound equally as great. The 50, I like to crank up and get the power tube sounds. So these are the two amps that I mainly use. In a lot of the videos on YouTube, you'll see me using this even in 2,000 seat, you know, arenas, smaller venues. And I run most of my stuff through a 212 cab, this one, with the closed back, low end punch that I love. I also have a 412 and a 112, but this is mainly the sound I love to hear. So the last part of my rig I want to go over is what's on my pedal board, which is, you know, definitely important. I try to keep things minimal. I like that the amps are simple. I like that the guitars are simple. I keep my pedals pretty simple. I use the exotic pedals exclusively. So here, what you're hearing now, that's just the guitar through the amp. So I'm gonna add the RC boost. I think it stands for real clean. It just gives it a little hair, so. So you see there's a little more, it's pushed the amp a bit, so the tubes are getting pushed and we're getting a little more gain out of it, but nothing over the top. I can then add the BB Preamp by Exotic, which is a really creamy, transparent pedal, much more gain. So I can, there's more sustain, but it's definitely, response to how hard I hit. When I'm not using the BB, I use the SL Drive by Exotic. It's a little more gainy than the BB preamp, so I can crank and get much more sustain. It's definitely a different sound, but it's either really the BB or the SL driven by the RC. Another thing that I love to use, because these amps don't have tremolo built in, and I love that they don't have anything, the Shapeshifter by Seymour Duncan. It's just a sweet tremolo. And I bought a few of these. They're super affordable, and they sound amazing. They're tap tempo. The last thing is the Exotic wah pedal, which is the best wah I've ever played. So it's very clean. See, I'm doing that and we're not hearing any kind of like crackling. So I use that in all kinds of situations, R&B, funk, or experimental. So that's basically, this is the rig that I am running on live shows, and I've tracked 2 albums this year already with what you're looking at. thanks again for watching the video. I had a blast doing it. I hope you got something out of it. If you have any questions, find me on social media.